And we are echoing. Where's my echo? Oh,
Is that me?
here's what we're gonna do. Hello? It is hearing all of us here. Hello, hello, hello. No more echo. That is
A little echo. Yeah.
Let's turn the volume off on this. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. All right, no more echo. All right, so let's get this live stream started. We are there. Writers, readers, drinkers, lend me your ear. Welcome to Writers Drinking Whiskey Open Bar at the C3 convention, which is Creatures, Crime, and Creativity. That I have internalized this now in the second year we're here. So I am your host, of course, William R. Hensey, and we have lots of swag for folks. So if you would like a bookmark, you can see the lovely Claire, as she is called in the show here. For a bookmark, I also have some goodies here. So in between guests, we're going to have some trivia. So be on your pins and needles because it's like $1 million worth of gifts. Don't audit me on the IRS, but that's what I put on my taxes is what we have. So let me introduce our first guest here. So where's my Word doc? We have Mary Kindle. And Mary, so let me give you your flowers here. So we have the author of The Spinster Fortune, Campbell's Boy, Bottled Secrets of Rosewood, and The Accidental Heiress. I said Harris because I pronounced the H, you know.
Yep.
Everyone else has since stopped pronouncing the H. I still
That's
do.
okay. That's fine.
Anything, so that I give the cliff notes here. Anyone that's watching online, you can go on and find the full bio that's from your website.
That's right.
That's what I do for prepping the show is I stock websites, and authors are notorious for them being not updated. So I stock non-updated websites to prep.
Okay.
So that's
go.
what we do.
There you
go. Let me start here. I always like to start with something interesting and positive, and Austin helped me with this one. So I want to know, what is folk horror and why should we all be reading it?
So folk horror is actually not any of those books that you mentioned, but it is my upcoming fifth book, which will be out in 2026. And so folk horror ties into traditional ways and methods of doing things that could sometimes become a little bit dark and left off center. And so there's a tie into history there, and I like to say all my work is historically inspired.
Sure.
So it sort of draws upon all of that. So I have a vein of that in my upcoming novel.
Yeah, very good. Well, and that's interesting because I wanted to ask, because your website, you mentioned history, right? I think you were researching it. Did you go on to teach it, or you just researched or wrote about it?
So I was a historian. That was my career when I was working full time.
And you had mentioned, and I love the idea of it, is history as solving mysteries.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool because one of the things I say, because I'm kind of a nerd and a weirdo in many ways, but I love going on ghost tours, and part of it is that you learn about the history of the place, right?
Definitely.
And so much of ghost stories end up being history and solving the mystery. Who is this ghost? Why are they here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And what interests me, and I wanted to ask you about it, is that there's in English we have this notion of fiction and nonfiction, and we put them in different buckets, right? And then when you study history, right, if you go read a history book, it might be a mix of that, right? We don't always know, and sometimes we're filling in, we're solving a mystery and kind of filling in the puzzle. And so I wonder what that taught you generally about storytelling, like as you went through how you tell that story, how you weave it into your fiction now.
So I think I was drawn to history early on as a child because really history is stories, right? Slash history in half and you get stories on the other end. So that was accessible to me as something in school to learn and be interested in. So because that was an interest, then later on I studied it and got degrees in it and such like that. But in addition to that, I was surrounded by history as a child because I grew up in historical houses that were haunted.
Okay, very
So
cool.
that was a tie in there as well.
Very cool. I think everything's haunted, but so
I
did
agree.
you ever witness anything inexplicable in the houses?
Yes, many things.
Yeah, can you
Yeah.
tell me, you can tell
How,
me
how
any
much
of
time
them.
do you got?
Yeah,
We'd be here a very long
you can
time.
read
We could be.
the tasting notes version, if you like, of, or just maybe the one that's most interesting or most,
Oh, there's many that are a lot of scary things happened. And I guess I'll give you this one. One of the houses I lived in was near Antietam, which, as we know, is the bloodiest, most awful battle ever in the Civil War. And so the house was close enough to have been a hospital. And so with that kind of event, you know, kind of that energy hangs about, in my personal opinion. So the house was large, and on the first floor, on one end of the house was almost like a ballroom size room. It was huge, and it was way far away from the other end of the house, which was where the living area was, the kitchen, and where the family mostly hung out. So one time, the whole family, my mom, dad, 3 kids, all hanging out in the living area, broad daylight, and we all heard galloping horses on the other end of the house.
Really?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, no one made it up.
Right.
It happened.
Yeah.
And there are many, many stories like that in that area of Maryland, around Sharpsburg and Antietam. That's not the only one.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I can completely see your love of history after
Yeah.
that, like growing up in a house.
Yeah,
But
exactly. It
even
kind of
if-
went
if you
together.
think of now, because you would, like, if there was a war tomorrow, we would think you go to the hospital or you do this.
Yeah.
Not that people's homes were used.
Yes,
you know, and that-
exactly.
And that
Exactly.
people still to this day live in those homes.
Right,
You know,
right.
that's a really intimate experience.
It is.
So,
It is. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
something about the houses and
uh-huh.
like I said, that energy that kind of
Sure.
hangs about and,
Right.
and stays with a
Right.
place.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
good. Thank
Yeah.
you for that.
Yeah.
And I always like, because I always say with the name called Writers Drinking Whiskey,
Yeah.
I'm legally and ethically mandated to talk some writing talk.
Uh-huh.
And so one of the questions I've taken to liking to enjoy asking people is, what is your most unhinged writing advice?
Ooh, unhinged writing advice. Oh boy, I think I'm more of the conventional advice of
The hinged advice.
yeah, I'm more the hinged. If we consider this hinged advice, get your butt in the chair and write.
Mhm.
Keep it simple.
Sure.
Get it done.
Right. And get
Yeah.
the seatbelt if you have to.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's right.
On the opposite.
Maybe give yourself a treat afterwards and
Uh-huh.
reward yourself. But
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
yeah,
Very good.
keep it
And
simple.
so I like, there's an episode on every episode I do shots. They're
Uh-huh.
rapid fire questions. And because most of these are via Zoom, I can't actually do shots with anyone. But because we are here together, will you have a drink of Irish whiskey
Of
with
course
me?
I will.
Oh,
Of
there
course
we
I
are.
will.
This is
That's my DNA.
very good.
Yeah.
This is why I fly out here, just for this
Just
moment.
to get
Yeah,
writers drunk,
exactly.
right.
Here we go. And if you
Okay,
want more,
thank
we
you.
have a whole bottle.
That'll
just
do me
over
for
this.
now.
So
And I love this whiskey, and I've had it.
yeah, very
yeah,
good. Yeah,
great.
I mean, if you're a writer and you
Writer's
haven't
cheers.
had this whiskey,
Oh, I
it's
know.
very sad.
I know.
So I'm just gonna
It's
fill
true.
up. I'm gonna keep filling my.
Oh,
yeah, Oh, and here, while we're at it, let's do.
All right, there you go. Okay.
All right. So are you ready now for the rapid fire portion of
Questions.
events? Yes. And
Questions.
here's this.
Okay, just sip for,
You don't have to down it.
Okay.
You can, but you can also
Okay.
just sip it. if
I'll
you want.
kind of pace it
It's
with,
good whiskey. You
I'll
can-
pace it with the shot of questions.
There you go. There you go. All right. So you have the keys to the DeLorean. You can go to any historical period and bring back one thing with you. Where and when do you go, and what are you bringing back?
1920s Prohibition era. I'm gonna go find the hidden Irish whiskey and bring it back.
Oh, that's the best answer ever. Cheers to that. All right. So next one here. Are all dolls haunted or just mine?
Dolls,
Dolls, yes.
DOLL.
Yes, yeah. I have lots of dolls. So I just
Okay.
want to know if they're haunted or not.
They can be. I think it depends on the owner.
So are mine haunted? This is
I'll go with yes. There you go. Enjoy your evening with your doll when you get home.
Exactly. As we go back to our hotel room and we're lined up.
Right, right.
So sweet potatoes, holy abomination, or suitable as dog food.
Oh, love them. Love them. Would eat them every day.
Choice.
No, that's my choice. Love them. Good for you and good taste.
Sweet potato fries.
Same.
Oh,
Same.
okay.
Yep.
We'll respectively agree to disagree.
Okay, have you tried it with cinnamon sugar, butter, sea salt?
I don't think
Change
so.
your life and try that.
Yeah, because I think
Yeah, give it a try.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. Okay.
Okay.
And then last one for our shots here. Real, myth, or fake. So I'm going to give you three creatures. You can
Okay.
be one's
myth.
real, one's fake.
Okay.
And myth is that in-between area where you can
Okay.
say it's real or not.
Real, myth, or fake.
All right. And so here's your choices here. And I'm going to give you Celtic critters. Fairies, leprechauns, and the banshee. Which one's real, which one's fake, and which one's myth?
Leprechauns, real. Banshees, myth. And the first one was
fairies.
fairies. They're not, they're between?
Well, that was the myth. That's why
was the
I have
myth.
hard questions
You
on the
do.
show. You know?
And plus it's like a dementia test. I had to remember everything.
Investigative journalism,
Let's say, okay, can I revise?
essentially. Yeah, you can read.
Okay, leprechauns definitely real.
Okay.
Fairies myth.
Okay.
Banshees
Banshees.
fake.
Fake.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay,
Fair
okay,
enough.
that's good.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
for that. And so if people want, I have your website linked up
Yeah.
for the folks at
Oh,
home.
thank you.
Anything else anywhere else you'd like to point them to if they'd like to learn more about you and your work?
My happy place is Instagram.
Okay.
I love it. And I'm there often and
good.
find me there
Okay.
because that's where I have the most fun as a writer,
Okay.
being on Instagram. I know there's, different thoughts about that, but that's my
Sure.
place.
You gotta
Yeah.
do you.
Yeah,
Do
that's
do
right.
you.
That's
Oh,
right.
well,
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah,
incredible.
thank you. That was
Do
so
you need a
fun.
refill before you go?
Sure, why not?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Would anyone in the audience like some as we're going? Because we got a whole bottle here that I'm told I'm not allowed to bring home with me.
Oh.
So, all right, let's do. You have a cup? I only got 3 earlier. All right, a wee dram. I love it. Everyone knows a wee dram. Get up here.
Not a wee dram.
Yeah. By 9:30? Okay. We should be good.
All right, I'm gonna leave and leave the little
Yeah.
clip. Okay.
You leave. Thank you
That
so
was
much.
really
It was
cool. It was great
meeting you.
talking with you.
Woody? So you know why whiskey was invented?
I know.
So the Irish wouldn't take over the world.
And
it's working.
It is how it happens to be working. Thank you for that. There you go. Thank you. All right, so let's get to our next guest, Christopher Zagorski. And I knew it. I was so happy when I hit the name. So thanks so much for being here. Let me give you the tasty notes version of introduction here. So you're the founder and sole reviewer of the crime fiction blog Bolo. Is it Bolo?
Bolo
like
Books.
BFO?
Well, Bolo, like be on the lookout.
Okay. And you're an accomplished writer in your own right. So you won the Agatha, Anthony, and McCavity Awards, if I said that right.
Correct.
For that short story for your work with Drew Rand Love, for Ticket to Ride. I know there's some other few short stories there as well. That was featured in the anthology, which I thought was a cool name, which was Happiness is a Warm Gun, crime fiction inspired by the songs of the Beatles.
Correct.
Thank you for being here. Do you want, so you already know the gig here. Do you want the whiskey now just to start, or do you want it when the shots
I'll wait
start?
for the shots moment.
Okay, so first question, and I love this question. There's a fantasy author, Ken Liu, that was on the show, and he turned the whole interview around on me because he's a much smarter man, and he's like, "You're blowing this. Let me interview you." And I love this question so much. I like to ask people. So, what are you great at?
Wow.
We clip that on you somewhere just so we can make sure everybody can hear you. Okay.
Sure thing. How's that?
That's
What am I great at? I'm great at a lot of things, but thing
Very
most people don't know that I'm great at that I'll share with everybody is that I was a championship country line dancer during its height of
Very
popularity internationally.
right, very good.
It didn't do me any good, but it was fun to do.
Part of the reason I like to ask that is that I have a working theory that is when you learn to be great at anything, you actually learn the process of being great at anything, right? Like you can adjust that and go, okay, I want to review books, I want to write, and you can actually kind of adjust the overall process of it, right? Not the exact steps depending on what you're doing. So is there anything that taught you about doing it that it taught you for your writing and your
It's a
literary?
very optimistic way of looking at it, but I will say that yes, it's the commitment, it's the getting there and doing it every day, and that trains you to be better at it. So yes, reading, not that anybody had to force me to read, but yes, the more you read, the better you can review. Hopefully, the better I write when that time comes.
Right. Sure. Very good. Thanks for that. And then, I know it's mostly like crime fiction and things, but, with the website, and I think
Yeah.
you're writing too, from what
Yeah.
I could tell. What is it about that kind of pursuit of justice, and crime fiction that
I
so
talk
many
about this a
people-
little bit on the blog. If people go to the blog and look at the About page, there was actually an incident when I was a child where I was at a house where we had a babysitter and I was playing with the other child and we were playing jacks. Remember jacks, like you used to bounce? And we were using that little space right at the front of the door where it was the only tile in the house. And so we were playing there, and somebody knocked on the door, and we, being children, didn't know we shouldn't open the door. So we opened the door, and there was actually a teenager, bloody on the porch, telling us that he needed a phone, and because his father was chasing him with a gun.
Oh, wow.
And we, of course, ran and got the babysitter. We're like, okay, but it stuck in my head, and I actually went home, and I never did find out what happened to that kid because, well, of course, the parents were like, let's not traumatize the children. But it always stuck in my head. So I think that's where I was already reading Nancy Drew and Encyclopedia Brown and stuff. So I already had interest in crime, but I think that really took off with the darker stuff. Like I just wanted to know. I do research and try to figure out what happened to him, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Around Reed Leva. So I had Reed Farrell Coleman on last year. He did this, and then I brought him back on, and we did a sit down. And I didn't know that either, but I had asked him was there a mystery in your life that affected you? And he had said the same thing. That
Yeah.
it's kind of an unsolved crime that he still kind of thinks about and such. So I can see that completely. It's like
Fascinating, and I know Reed, so I'll ask him about it because it sticks in your head, and you're just like, and I think someday I might write a story and finish it. Like, let me get a solution to it to help me, but who knows?
you have to ask, or you can watch his episode of Writers Drinking Whiskey where he talks about it and the story he wrote to get.
Oh, well, there you
get
go.
the thing
See,
about it.
we all think the
But-
same
but
way.
you just ask.
Yeah, I'll just ask him, and I'll watch the episode too.
And so one thing that has, I've thought about a lot recently, and as I say this, I realize, Mary, we were supposed to do a trivia. So maybe after this, I'll have you do your trivia, except 3 gifts to give out and 3 guests in between, and I messed it up. But what do you think with writing, right? Like especially with reviewing and then writing yourself. And then there's AI, there's low content books, there's this floods of books all the time that, there's lots of super great indie writers. There's also lots of just people throwing first drafts up, online, that floods it. And then there's also all kinds of possibilities with like serial fiction. A lot of these things are kind of coming back. What do you see as like the future of books? Like what's the future?
Let's hope not AI. I think that reading will always be there, and people will always be writing books. Now, there was nothing more intimidating than having been a critic for 14 years before I wrote my first thing. Like, talk about sending it out to the masses, because all these people I've been criticizing, and then they're going to read what I wrote. So it was very intimidating. And both Drew and I, who I co-wrote that first story with, she's also a reviewer. So we both had the same journey, and thankfully it seemed to have gone well. We won those 3 awards. It was very exciting. But I don't think that, I mean, there's a lot of newspaper articles we see where people are reading less and less, and I don't think that's actually the case. I mean, I do think that still there are dedicated readers, and there always will be. Now, are young people reading as much, or are they reading different things? Like, I think they're still finding that storytelling bug, but in a different way, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I don't know, but no AI. Let's just get rid of the AI.
I've got it. And then the writing question here. So, I was wondering, and you've probably been asked this before, so I apologize for not being more creative with this, but how do you utilize that experience as a reviewer for those many years, right? Where you're breaking things down. How do you utilize all of that that's in your head, all the story structure, theme, da-da-da? Then how do you utilize it but quiet it?
Yeah.
When you need to get down
In
to the-
different ways for me. I definitely know from all the years of reviewing the structure and what works and what doesn't work. So I was able to avoid some pitfalls that I think a lot of first writers hit.
Mhm.
So that was good, but it also is a lot of pressure. So I did swerve, like my second stories are supernatural, which is not something I ever reviewed. So I was still crime, but supernatural crime. So I wrote a story set in hell, an alternate version of hell. The government, in order to alleviate the unemployment rate, has allowed living people to travel down to hell to work. And my barista meets a condemned murderer and realizes that something's not quite right with his story, and he can still go back up to earth and investigate. So because I didn't read and review that kind of stuff, I didn't have that voice saying, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work. I'm like, let's just throw all that out. But still, the structure of a crime and how that works, I was able to work in through the story. So
It gets whiskey time.
whiskey time.
Gives you a wee dram here.
Thanks.
Right. So our shots portion here. Anonymous reviews. The guillotine or the stocks?
The stock. You're gonna say it, put your name on it.
Exactly. Feel too. Very good. So you get one band to listen to for the rest of eternity. What is it, or who is it?
I was gonna say, does it have to be a band? It would be, if the artist, it would be Tori Amos. If it was a band, it would probably be Depeche Mode.
Depeche? Okay. And then a priceless bottle of whiskey has been stolen. You know, this hurts my heart. There's only one person for the job: Inspector Gadget, Steve from Blue's Clues, or Ace Ventura. Who you got?
Wow.
The hard questions.
I'm going to go with Inspector Gadget because I think he's going to have the things he needs to break into places where this whiskey is hidden.
Inspector Gadget's always the right choice.
Yeah.
And finally here, a piece of art you give to the aliens. So the aliens are coming. You want to stave off invasion. You have one piece of art to give them to get them from not conquer the planet Earth. What's that piece of art?
I traveled last year to Italy for the first time. I think it would be the Statue of David.
The Statue of David. Okay, very good. Great answer. And thank you so much.
Thank
we got
you.
to go trivia. Let's work here. And I'm going to just turn my screen so you can see it. So if you want to read this one here, can you read that okay?
Where am I?
Right here.
Crime themed.
Yep.
This fictional serial killer was known as the Chesapeake Bay Ripper in his NBC adaptation. What is the character's name? And bonus points for the name of the real life killer who the TV adaptation drew inspiration from.
Anyone? So that's two questions. So anyone, and there's a important note there, is that it's the NBC adaptation. So there was a movie, and this is a very famous serial killer from a movie. Yes? You got it right. And so here you go. So, and there is, so I should tell everyone what's in each box. So there's a copy of my my short story anthology, A Fire for Christmas, which won American Fiction Award and International Book Award. Short story section. There is a mug like I am drinking out. There is some coasters, which also double as bottle openers. Riders Drinking Whiskey coasters, and there's a mug, like I said. Oh, there's a $25 gift card,
Oh,
which is what puts this into the $1 million category. That bumped it. It was like $900 something or something before that. So.
congratulations.
But bonus points. Anyone know who that character, when it was the NBC version, there's a Baltimore area, Maryland, I should say, area, serial killer that they based the NBC adaptation on. The movie was a tad broader.
I have no idea, and I'm from
It
Maryland.
may rhyme with Hamburglar. All right, anyone guess anything, and you'll get the bonus prize. Jeffrey Dahmer. Oh no, that's for you, Vaughn. You get a mug. There you go. Thank you, sir. So, and I'll give the answer. It was Thomas Harris. No, that's the original writer. Sorry. The real life Maryland killer was Joseph Matheny, known as the Hamburger Man. He operated the Baltimore in the 1990s. He confessed to killing at least 10 people, and allegedly mixed human flesh into hamburger meat and sold it at his roadside stand.
Nice.
Yeah. So next time you're at the taco truck, think about it a little bit. So,
Thank you so much. You too.
Right here. And our final guest for the day, we have Alice, and I'm gonna nail it. Lois Key. Lois C. It's C. It's C, not C. Lois C.
Don't worry about it.
Very easy. Very good. And do you want whiskey to start?
I am the world's lightweight drinker. I got water.
You got water. Okay, very good. So let me give you the tasting notes version of your bio here for everyone. So the baker of brownies and tormentor of characters. You have written 9 books. I have a thing on my way. I'm gonna butcher this name too.
Julia Driscoll.
Driscoll T.I. mystery series.
Yep.
And you have 2 standalone horrors as Kate and Morgan.
Yep.
Staking Cinderella and The Redeemers.
Yep. And I have the new book,
And you have the new book,
which is Demons and Ramen.
Demons and Ramen. Very good. Is it like ramen, like ramen?
The noodles, yeah.
Very good. Delicious stuff. I'm a big fan. And again, I always like to start these with something kind of light and positive. And one of the questions, I used to use this as my extra shot or my last call question on the show. But what is reading, writing giving you that you don't think you would have gotten otherwise? Something unique to the art of reading or writing, whichever way you want to take it.
It expanded my world. I was an only child. I have not really traveled anywhere, and I open a book and I can go anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. Thank you for that. And so a little bird, I have my little birds, like the guy from Game of Thrones, you have his bird, told me that you used to be a nun and that you have played hookers on stage, which, can I just say, amen, sister. What was that journey like? Did that, did both involve like spanking people with rulers or?
Well, back when I was a nun, and yes, I did wear a habit, but you couldn't hit kids, which I don't agree with hitting kids anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I could whack a ruler a millimeter away from a dreaming kid's knuckle, wham, and they would wake up.
Very good.
So eventually left the convent, got back into being a real person again, and decided to go back to amateur theater. And I did the 2-person play, The Owl and the Pussycat. It was a Barbra Streisand and somebody movie. So I played the hooker. So it was convent, brief interlude, hooker. And the costume they designed for me, which I modified because I wouldn't wear it, it was so brief that when I walked out on stage, my father in the first row went, and yeah, and I stayed in character.
Very good. That's an accomplishment right there. And so you grew up, and again, because I stock websites, so you grew up on horror stories and Scooby-Doo, which was, which when I was a kid, I remember being terrified of Scooby-Doo, like wandering about. I'm still terrified of Scooby-Doo. And then
son, I could expand your world.
I don't know if I can handle it. I've stayed right there for a reason. So then you become a nun, you leave the sisterhood, and then you're back to writing horror, and mysteries. where does your worldview stand now? Do you think, like, do we have a soul? Are we just, meat popsicles, as some people say? Like, is there?
And then, see, that's like the guy grinding people into hamburger. No. Oh, absolutely. It's organized religion. You don't want to get me started talking about, because I'm like, light a match to it and burn it down.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's organized religion. That's the problem. That is the grifting and the thing. And yes,
Mhm.
I'm going to get hate mail, and I don't care.
Very good. No, thank you for that. I think like we should just share opinions. That's why I like to ask the thing. Like, what do people think? Get to the bottom of it, and it's more fun. Life is more fun when you entertain all the possibilities.
Absolutely.
Is there a through line that kind of so you're none, you're studying the Bible, which is probably the most read book in history, right? The biblical text, you study them, teach them, I suppose at
Yep.
some point. And then you go to stage acting, which is a different type of storytelling, but still a storytelling in its own right. Is there a through line that you've learned from in your writing career that going from kind of the biblical, beginning, the stage to acting out a character?
Well, it's not so much the biblical, it's that when you're a nun, at least when you were, things have changed very much. I'm talking 40 years ago. When you were a nun, once you got the habit, it was, you are a leader now, so go out and lead. And they basically booted you out, and it was sink or swim. So I learned how to teach. And in teaching, I'm performing anyways. I learned how to talk to anybody and talk in front of a crowd. So when I left that and went to the theater, I'm like, oh, look, it's a crowd in there. And so it gained me confidence.
Right.
So because I had to have confidence, or I would have just sunk under everything.
Right, sure. Amen. Thank you for that. And so, are we ready for shots now?
Go for it.
All right, let's
Yes.
do it. I'm so happy. Let's give you. I know you're a lightweight, so I'll give you a light pour.
Yeah. No, I am not drinking that. You drink. I am not drinking that.
I poured
Oh.
it. No, I poured it. Party foul. Got me. And I dumped it again.
Oh, my
okay,
God.
here we go. Okay. The cork got me. Okay, so, are you a dog person, or are you the type of person who should never be trusted, aka a cat person?
I used to have cats. I currently have a giant golden doodle who weighs 61 pounds, is a furry toddler, and he is the sweetest thing in the world. And while I love cats because they're low maintenance, dogs are better.
Dogs are better. Amen. There we are. So you have a choice. You can be dropped into the twisted imagination of Stephen King or the diabolical imagination of H.P. Lovecraft. What is your choice, and what is the one thing you're taking with you to defend yourself?
It is always H.P. Lovecraft, and what I'm taking with me is a pair of boxing gloves to punch that bigoted git in the face. Because I adore Lovecraft, and I was reading him when I was 10 years old. And if you want to see what should have been done with Lovecraft, try to slog your way through the Horror at Red Hook, which is so bigoted it's awful, and then read The Ballad of Black Tom by Victor LaValle.
Yeah, very good. Thank you for that. What is an irrational fear, and what is something you love irrationally?
Spiders of any kind, any shape. I will kill them now, but I would much rather bring in my husband or one of my sons to say, would you please step on that now?
Sure.
And the irrational,
Something you love irrationally.
the tall pines in the Adirondack.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the Adirondacks the first time a few years ago, and I had never seen a tall pine. And the minute I saw them, it's like, I need to move here right now. They are gorgeous and wonderful and amazing.
Very good. Thank you for that. And so people want to learn more about you. I have the website linked. Anywhere else you want to jump into?
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Mostly it's just those two. Threads a little bit, but it's mostly Facebook and Insta.
Okay, very good. And so let's do our trivia here so I don't forget. And let me, oh, it's not touch screen. I'm not fancy enough. Let me just scroll it down. It's going to be right there if you can read that.
It's the one that starts creativity theme?
Yep.
Creativity theme. This famous creative died under mysterious circumstances, with theories of his cause of death ranging from alcoholism to rabies, carbon monoxide poisoning, brain tumor, and even cooping. A practice where victims were kidnapped, drugged, and forced to vote multiple times?
Okay, wait, there's a bonus.
There's a
Everyone
bonus.
Be ready.
First part, what is his name? Second, the bonus points are bonus points for the name he repeatedly called out while in the hospital.
All right, so we want to. Okay, you got it. Edgar
Yes, of
Allan
course.
Poe, you got it. You get the $1 million package here, sir. And bonus points, does anyone remember the name he called out while in the hospital?
No.
And if you'll call it out deliriously and drunkenly.
Evangeline?
It wasn't Evangeline,
Oh,
no.
Was it John?
Was it?
Lenore?
It wasn't Lenore, no. Yep. Some people say it's a rat. But I don't know if it was his friend in New York. It could be. Anyone else? If we don't have any other guesses. Maurice? Okay, we'll say his friend in New York, Reynolds. Reynolds. There you go. And this one's for you. I know you guys got a matching set now. Thank you, and thank you so much.
Thank
It
you
was
very
fun
much.
chatting with
Thank
you.
you.
Oh, and we have one. Do you want to come up and do your trivia? Because I forgot one, but we have one more trivia here for everyone. Yeah, find it. Here we are. Yeah, you can put it. Yeah, you can. And so we can put it here. Oh, and let me move this down just a tad because the little picture thing is in the way. There it is. Okay, so it's this one.
Okay, starting at the top.
Yep.
Okay, everybody. This creature is said to be part dragon, part bird, and all terror, and terrorized Frederick County, Maryland in the early 1900s. What is it? Bonus, can you name its aquatic cousin in the Chesapeake Bay? And I know the answer to this. This is the one I know because I'm a Marylander. Yeah.
But Vaughn, you've already won. Okay, anyone else besides Vaughn, since he's already a winner? How about you? You haven't won actually. What's the answer?
Snallygaster.
Yeah,
The
American
Snallygaster, yeah.
All right, the bonus points, and Vaughn, you can get the bonus points if you want, but
Thank you so much.
Chesapeake Bay, the aquatic monster there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. There you go, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And I did want to say, so I always say at the end of the shows, it's last call, you don't have to go, but you'll have to restart the video. I did want to give a nice, like a toast of the night here to Austin Camacho. Thank you so much for bringing me on, for bringing us out. And if anyone's interested more in the show, we do have a Substack now where I post all of the shows. I post my Epic of Sort of Satire, Pirates of Appalachia, which is kind of like if Huck Finn and Slaughterhouse-Five had an illegitimate child, and that baby was a city-sackingly mad as a boy named Sue. You can get the weekly serials of that. You can get all these shows, and a really cool link that has an index of all the shows, including Austin's links to everything, which is actually a little better than the YouTube because you can only find it with the thumb card. Right. And so it's a really nice little spot. So if you want to support us and check it out, you can do that. But otherwise, thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night. Yeah.